Welcome. My name is Danielle. I've got Mochi here hanging out with me, and we are so glad to see you here. We're going to be doing a yin sequence today to help build some good energy. So it's great for first thing in the mornings when you don't want to get out of bed. It's great for rainy days like today, where all you want to do is curl up and read a good book. And maybe you still do anyways after, but at least you'll be feeling more energized. So it's always great to have some blocks or a pillow or a blanket around you, whatever props are available to you to just help support you and get in the pose. And we will go ahead and get started in child's pose. But first and foremost, we're doing yin. So that means fewer poses, but longer holds. So we're going to be doing them for 3 minutes each. And I will start our timer right now to let us know it is time to begin. All right, so that is our cue. We'll go ahead and get in child's pose. So toes are touching, knees can be together to support the low back, or maybe take them a little bit wider to really get into the hips. But either option, we're going to just start to walk our hands forward, start to melt the heart down, and just start to lower in. So if this feels a little uncomfortable today, this is always a great time to use your props. You can take your pillow or your blocks. The pillow is just a little bit more comfy. Put it under your chest to kind of give your upper body some support. And sometimes you might want to take your blocks underneath your hands to give your arms, your shoulders some supports. So maybe taking traditional, maybe using some supports, maybe putting a pillow under your forehead, finding what works for you. And I'm going to bring the pillow out of the way and bring my forehead down to just start to get into my shoulders. All right, so once you get into your position, once you find what's working, just start to tune in. Closing the mouth, breathing in through the nose. And just start to take note. Where are you holding tension? Where are you stiff? And what does your body need today? So these 30 minutes are for you. And so the world outside, it keeps on going. But all that matters while you are here is what is happening in the four corners of your mat. So breathing into your back line, can we soften in and just be fully present in whatever it is that we are feeling? Maybe starting to notice, now that we've settled in a bit, how is the experience changing? Has your body opened up? Where has it opened up? Has your mind calmed? Or is it still racing? Or thoughts keep coming? It's neither good nor bad. The thoughts will always come. But just to notice, have they changed? What is the state of our mind right now? And that is our cue to release. So gently start to walk yourself back up, moving any blocks out of the way if you've had them. And we will make our way to seated. So swinging our legs out in front of us for caterpillar. So it's basically just our seated forward fold, but taking whatever support we need. So you might want to bend your knees, maybe hug your knees and just round in, really tucking the chin, letting your head grow heavy. You might straighten out your legs as you go and kind of start to get heavier. You might want to take that pillow and hug the pillow as you round down. Maybe the arms are at your sides with the palms up to receive. Just using gravity to help get into your shoulders. Or maybe you don't have a prop at all, but you have your blocks reaching out in front of you to kind of ground you and help pull you down a little bit. Kind of play with it for a few moments and then settle into whatever shape is calling you. And I think I'm actually going to take my blocks underneath my knees, keep them bent but supported, and round down this way. And I think the pillow will be helpful. And so it might take a while to be comfy, and it's okay. You know, whatever we are doing, depending on the time of day, my forward folds look very different at 6 a.m. versus 9 p.m. And so find what feels good for you right now. All that we are doing in this pose is folding forward and tucking the chin and letting our shoulders grow heavy. So whatever option of those that I've shown you or of those that you might want to take yourself, you have permission to do what feels good. But then once you find what feels good, you got to commit and then just be in whatever it is. But starting to notice as your body adjusts, really breathing into that back spine. Feel your shoulders start to grow heavier. Maybe your forehead rounds down a bit more. And then where can you soften? Maybe wiggle the toes a moment and then pausing, letting them soften. Releasing it in my kneecaps. That's where I tend to hold. Maybe your hips. And there is our release. So starting to walk up, we're going to make our way into deer pose. So removing all the blocks out of the way. Coming to seated, bringing your knees out in front of you. We're going to start to just tip your legs over to one side. We're going to do them side to side. So whichever one is calling to you. For here, we're having our left leg coming at 90 degrees, right leg coming at 90s, and trying to get them in 90 degrees in the hips. So your legs are kind of looking like two little angles is the goal. But if it's too intense, you can bring that right knee up a little bit and maybe bringing it to your left heel. That's kind of a more gentle variation. Or coming directly out of the hip is one day the goal. And you can stay like this, maybe just chest looking over your left knee and just really feeling that space in your right hip. Or if you want to get a little bit more after your legs are good, you can start to turn over to the left. So maybe taking your right hand to your left knee, maybe taking that left hand behind you and starting to press a little bit into that left hand for support. Just gently starting to look over your left shoulder. And then breathing down the whole length of the spine, rolling the shoulders down the back. Maybe bringing your eyes into it too. Can you look out of the corner of your eyes for a moment? Get those optic nerves, a little bit of engagement. And then when you're ready, just closing the eyes in whatever shape you're taking. And maybe taking a moment to scan the body and notice, where do you feel this pose the most? And as you soften in, where does the sensation, where does it move? I tend to feel it in my right hip to start, but it starts to move down closer to my knee as my body adjusts. And that's just going to show how that fascial line is opening and adjusting as you work and add that little sustained pressure over time. And then after you notice, you come back to your breath. All we are in this moment is inhales and exhales. And then as we've been opening up, can we twist a little bit deeper if we're taking it? Or maybe if you have adjusted your legs, move them back But now that's our time, our cue to change. So taking our legs, we're just going to flip them over to the other side. So swinging our knees back through center and then over to the right, and then assessing. We want, first and foremost, your right leg is at that 90 degrees. That foot is flexed too. Your left knee maybe to start coming into your right heel and then sliding it back. When you reach that resistance, that's where you stop. Flexing both feet. Maybe you're staying here, maybe just looking at your right foot or your right knee. Or maybe you start to go into that deeper twist. So left hand to right knee, right hand underneath your shoulder, and then starting to twist and looking over your right shoulder. And so maybe depending on your body and depending on the day, you might need to go deeper than usual or less. Maybe you walk that hand out a bit and kind of gets into that lower lateral side a bit differently. I'm going to stay upright, and then maybe for a moment looking over to the corner of your eyes, get that optic nerve involved, and then start to close your eyes and settle in. Really making sure our shoulders are down the spine, we're extending tall through the crown of the head, and then softening in wherever we can. Maybe taking a moment to notice, how is it different on this side? Is the sensation at a different part of the body? Is the sensation deeper this side? Nobody is really perfectly symmetric. We tend to have differences, and that's okay. It's just something to notice about yourself, so you can be more present in yourself. And then we just continually come back to that breath. Maybe sending that inhale up the length of the spine. Really feel that energy drive you taller. And then on that exhale, feel that energy rooting down, giving you just a little bit more strength and support. And all the while, just breathing deeply. All right, there is our cue to release. It's coming back through center, bringing our knees up in front of us, maybe taking a moment to windshield wiper them side to side if you just need to get into those hips a little bit more. And we will make our way into side seal. So coming back onto our bellies for just a moment. So starting here, walking your hands underneath you, elbows directly under the shoulders. You can stay here if you just want to work on regular seal, shining the heart forward. That's a beautiful option. Or you can start to get into the side. So taking your right hand and using it to press yourself up onto your left side. So lots of options here, and I'm going to get a pillow to demo. So we are resting, trying to get our shoulder directly under the elbow and just kind of resting and stretching into that left side of the body. This might be too intense, so you might want to take a pillow to kind of elevate the elbow, maybe take it a little bit out. So that could be another option, or maybe even taking it, if it's a bigger pillow or a block, and kind of resting on it and letting the body weight hold you down. There's really no option that's wrong. Just try to find whatever option is giving you the most support. And maybe your left hand is out in front of you, or maybe it's over to the side. We're just trying to find some sensation along the left ribs and in the left shoulder. So whatever shape supports that is the right shape for you. So maybe your feet are stacked. If you want to bend the left knee, the right knee, you can kind of play with that. That might be a little bit more supportive too. And then just commit. Maybe close the eyes. Maybe have a soft smile, reminding yourself to be relaxed, to be present. And then noticing, where are we feeling this? As we hold, right, it gets deeper into the tissues. So hopefully we're not feeling pain. We're always easing out if it comes to any sharp pain, any stabbing pain. We're just looking for a subtle, sustained pressure. And that gentle pressure will help open us up over time. Maybe sinking some more weight into that left shoulder. Can we really feel that space in the left ribs? We're coming to the end of it. It's just a few more breaths. Maybe tucking your chin, breathing a little bit deeply at the end. All right, and then we release. So rolling back onto your belly, we're going to do the same shape on the other side. So taking that right arm underneath you, directly underneath the shoulder. Maybe the hand stays there, maybe it swings off to the side. And taking that left hand and using it to push yourself up onto your right hip. So same option here. You can take that pillow, maybe resting underneath it, maybe resting underneath the elbow. Lots of things to play with there. Maybe it's helping you to get deeper if you put it directly under your shoulder. Maybe that right hand is coming in at an angle. Maybe you're bending one or both knees. Whatever shape helps give you sensation, that is the right shape for you. And then whenever you find your shape, can you commit to just be fully present in whatever shape we have? Right, it's just 3 minutes, this whole set, which might seem like an eternity. It might seem like a blink of an eye. But we can hold any pose for one breath. And then once you've held it, commit again. I can hold this pose for one breath. And every breath is an opportunity. It's a new beginning, a new end. So what can I find in this opportunity right now? And then where are we feeling it? Where has the sensation moved? Just starting to really tune in to what is going on in those deeper muscles, deeper tissues. And then softening yet again. Maybe starting to tuck your chin at the end just a little bit in gratitude and kindness. And breathing into that right rib. Right, and then we release. All right, so up next we are going to transition onto our backs for a little cat pulling its tail. So coming straight onto our backs, bringing our knees out in front of us. I like to flex them so they're at 90 degrees, and then just dropping them over to our left. So leaving that right leg where it is, we're going to take that left leg and slide it under. And then trying to take our right hand, grabbing on with the left foot. And so this right here might be enough. We're going to take our left hand onto our right knee. And if it's too far away, we might want to take that block and putting it directly under the knee. Just kind of gives it a little bit more support. So you're welcome to stay here. We're really trying to pull that with the right hand to get that leg kind of directly underneath us. And if you want more sensation after that, you can start to straighten that left leg. And maybe it just rests the foot on the block as well, just kind of resting it out, or maybe you can make contact with that the left hand onto the big toe. But that is a very intense pose for many, and it's intense for me. So if that is too much, we don't have to bring the leg into it. That main focus, that main action is on that left leg and the right foot. So as long as you have that connection, any option with the right leg is perfectly fine. So find it and then commit to be in this shape. Starting to breathe deep belly breaths. And maybe bringing some awareness to our shoulders. It's a little bit of a spinal twist. So having that left shoulder is kind of the given, that's the rounded one. But can we get that right shoulder grounding down as well? So maybe kind of breath by breath, trying to work that right shoulder down a little deeper. And then really sending the breath into your legs. Can we soften in that left thigh? And soften maybe in your glutes as well. I tend to hold there. And really just feel gravity supporting us as we sink a little deeper into softness. Maybe softening the jaw and softening the brow. And breathing through any sensation, but staying above pain. All right, we're gently going to start to release. So bringing your legs back together. I'm just losing my words today. And then bringing your knees back through center. We're going to take it over to the other side. So maybe moving the block onto the other side if you need it. Bringing our legs up 90 degrees in the hips. And then just starting to tilt them over to the right. So adjusting our hips as we get there. Then to start, that left leg stays where it is, and that right leg slides underneath. And then trying to take that left hand to grab on with the right foot. So as long as you have that connection, that's all you got to do. And then we start to walk that leg directly underneath us, as if we were kind of like kneeling on our leg if we were standing. And then reassess with that left leg. What do we want to do? You can have it on the block to keep it supported, or you can start to straighten the whole leg. And maybe you can't get it the first minute. Maybe as your body opens up, you can go a little bit deeper. So that is okay. If you had a strap, I should have mentioned that earlier. You could use a strap to get that foot, but that's not always available to me. So just go with what you got. And then whatever you're doing with your hands, commit to that and bring the awareness to our shoulders. So again, it's a spinal rotation, imagining our hips are kind of squaring off to the side wall, but our shoulders are kind of squaring off to the ceiling. So what micro adjustments can we make in this shape to kind of get that left shoulder a little closer to the earth? And kind of rolling the shoulder blades down the spine. You don't want to hunch to the ears. And then just commit. Where can I soften? Where can I adjust? And where can I smile and send space to my body? And maybe just taking a moment to notice, how does it feel on this side? Where is the sensation as you hold? Does it move? right, and there is our cue to release. So gently starting to bring your legs back in through center. Maybe taking a moment to just ground your feet and kind of sort out those hips. I kind of like do some little bridges to just reset my spine, and then making our way into our final Savasana. So you can take your legs out in front of you and just palms up to receive. If you would like to get a little bit more energizing, heart opening going, we can set up for a little bit of a fish pose. So taking your block, probably the lowest setting, on both your head, and then another one for your shoulders. If it doesn't always feel good, so only take it if it feels good to you today. And setting up the first block so it's hitting basically like where your bra line would be if you were wearing one, kind of supporting your upper spine. And then another block underneath your head. Maybe play with the low setting, maybe play with the middle setting. That could be good as well. And just making sure you have enough support to let your shoulders broaden and then drop down. And palms are by your side, facing up to receive. Or maybe one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart to really feel and connect with all of that beautiful work that you have been doing today. You could also take your feet and bring them together as a nice little butterfly pose if you just want a little bit more heart opening, hip opening. Just find what Savasana shape, restorative shape is calling to you. And then just settle in for a few good breaths. All right, there is our cue. If Savasana is still calling to you, please stay as long as you would like. Press pause or tune me out. Enjoy your beautiful shape. And if you would like to be guided out of it, gently start to wiggle your fingers and toes, just inviting some slower movements in. And maybe starting to bring your legs to one side, maybe rolling over onto your favorite side, removing any blocks out of the way. And pausing for a moment, just letting your spine come back to neutral. And then starting to gently press yourself up. Maybe keeping the eyes closed for a moment more to just keep that intention, that focus inwards. And making your way to a comfortable seat. So maybe taking both hands to your knees to support your chest, or maybe bringing your hands into heart center. Maybe rubbing them together for a moment, feeling that heat, that energy that we have been cultivating within ourselves. And then pausing for a moment in stillness and in gratitude for all of the work that you have done today on the mat. We all benefit off of the mat. So I thank you so much for taking care of yourself. Because when you care for yourself, you care for us all. So thank you so much. And until we meet on our mats again, I bow to you and say Om Shanti, peace, peace within, peace around, and peace to those who need it most. Thank you so much. If you found this at all helpful, I would love it if you could like, subscribe. Let's help get this content out in front of the people who need it. You know there's a lot of them out there. Otherwise, just keep doing the good work, bringing that mindfulness that we have been cultivated into the poses of life. And I will see you on our mats again soon. Bye.